What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the tower. So I want to do a quick little video on bounce shot and just kind of explaining how it works and then a few mechanics that are related to it. So let's get into it. So how does bounce shot work exactly? So your bounce shot is based off any projectiles that you are shooting, which includes multi-shot. So you have one original bullet stream, which could be any one of these that are hitting the enemies that are in my range. And from that, I'm getting up to 13 extra streams of bullets from my multi-shot. And bounce shot is able to use the multi-shot and my original bullet stream to bounce to other enemies. So for example here, I can have up to 14 different streams of bounce shot. And as you can see from the streams, there are projectiles bouncing around to different enemies. This is a good example of one of the streams. So it's either coming from this multi-shot right here or one of these in here. But the projectiles are bouncing all the way down the line of enemies, all the way over here to this one on the bottom left. That's probably the best example here, but you can see a lot of other bounces. There's one going from this enemy to this one, to this, to that one, all the way over there and back. There's just a lot of different ways that the projectiles can actually bounce with bounce shot. I'll also explain exactly how each stat works and what role it plays. So bounce shot chance, this is just the chance that bounce shot has to actually bounce to another enemy. So to make it easier, let's pretend my bounce shot chance is 50%. Starting off of the multi-shot shooting at this enemy, there would be a 50% chance to travel and hit this enemy. And from there, there's another 50% chance that it goes to hit this enemy right here. So the chance that the bullet right here bounces from this enemy to this one and then to this one is only 25% chance, since it will roll that 50% chance 2 times. And for that same projectile to get to this enemy as well, that would be a 12.5% chance. So it slowly goes down the more enemies that it bounces to. So by this point, it would be a really low chance projectiles would actually bounce to this enemy. A good way to think about it that I've used is just considering the fact that there's a lot of projectiles. And instead of saying that a single projectile will have a 50% chance to bounce to this enemy, for example, I'll just assume that half of my projectiles are actually getting that bounce. And then for this one, a fourth of my projectiles would be getting there. And then 1/8, and then continuing down the line. And because of how that math works, getting a high bounce shot chance is really good. For example, here I have 96%, which is really high. It's fairly unlikely that I'm going to miss a bounce, but I'll quickly just do the math to see the chance that it'll bounce that many times. So it's a 96.45% chance to bounce to this enemy, since that's my original bounce shot chance. And then it has that same 96.45% chance to bounce to this one. But doing both of those calculations, it's only around a 93% chance to get to this enemy. So that's 93% of my bullets that are getting here. Doing the calculation again for this enemy, it's only around an 89.7% chance that the bullet gets here. And going all the way down the line here, this is around a 75% chance. So as you can see, that's still pretty high. Bounce shot chance just keeps getting better and better as you get closer to 100%. So moving on to bounce shot targets, this one's a lot more simple. This is the maximum number of enemies that bounce shot can bounce to. So this is actually a perfect example again. To whichever enemy the multi-shot is shooting at here, it will bounce 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. And that is the maximum for my bounce shot, since I have bounce shot targets at 8. If you get this number higher, then it can bounce more times, and that will be more projectiles overall. And that's really it for bounce shot targets. There's really not much more than that. Moving on to bounce shot range. So this is how close the enemy has to be to the original enemy to actually bounce to it. So for example, these two enemies are just close enough it looks like, but I think this basic on the bottom right here is too far for the bounce shot to travel, since the bounce shot range is not big enough. And this actual number is kind of arbitrary. It doesn't seem to line up super well with how tower range works. So just know that the higher this number is, the farther the projectiles can bounce. And I'll play this a little bit just so you can kind of see how that works in action. But as enemies travel closer to where all the projectiles are being shot at, then they will have a chance to start being bounced to. So for example, this boss isn't quite in range yet to be bounced to, but when it gets close enough, I think a lot of these projectiles will retarget to it. So let me play that. It is currently being shot by those bounces, and once it gets out of range, it is no longer being shot at. So that's pretty much it for bounce shot range. There's a few other little mechanics I want to talk about with bounce shot. One of them is that everything is actually applied to bounce shot as well. And what I mean by that is things like knockback and chain lightning. If I play this, you can see that the enemies that are getting bounced to are being knocked back as well. Like these ones up here on the top left is a good example. And if I turn on my chain lightning, you'll see that the chain lightning is actually proccing on the bounces. So these enemies are being bounced to, and the chain lightning is also hitting them. Same with the ones down here. And one last thing I want to mention is that there is a bounce shot target priority. So I know that bounce shot streams actually prioritize bosses over other enemies. And then after bosses, they prioritize elites. I'm not sure if fleets are on that list anywhere. I know the order goes bosses and then elites, and then I assume other enemies. I'm not sure if there's any other enemies that actually are on the priority list, but I know about those two. And you can kind of see that the boss is being targeted by the bounce shot and is being prioritized over other enemies. That is part of the reason that when I was showing you how the bounce shot range worked, that the bounce shot actually retargeted to the boss. Since it has priority, they will retarget. I don't think bounce shot usually retargets unless the enemy either goes out of range or a boss or elite comes into range and it will retarget to one of those. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope this video was useful for understanding how bounce shot works more, and I hope I explained it well enough. So if you have any questions about bounce shot or anything else, you can leave those in the comments. And yeah, see ya.